Hey you guys, okay, so this is video number 4 in VEDAS. I think after this video I will be completely caught up. VEDAS is video every day in August. Forgetting the I, it would be VEDAS, but it's not. It's VEDA. Video every day in August. Okay. All right, so what are we talking about today? Sorry about that. Video number 4 is going to be about glycerin. So a lot of times when I'm talking to people at stores or just, I'm getting inquiries, people, and I'm asking people about their regimens, what they'll often say to me is they'll be telling me their regimen, and then they'll tell me the things that they believe are problematic or not to do in their regimen. And usually those are the things that, I key into the whole thing, but I really key into when someone is sharing what they know not to do, which is usually sometimes not necessarily bad. A lot of times, what people in the natural community will say that they won't do are usually based on a lot of times. I shouldn't say it like that, but a lot of times, I just hear a lot of myths, and I dispel the myths and the rumors, right? And so one of those is that glycerin is bad for your hair, or that you can't use products with glycerin. And y'all getting tired, and I'm hungry. Right, so I'm not gonna rush through this, but if you start seeing me scratching and stuff, it's because I'm tired and I'm hungry, right? So let's get back to glycerin. What is glycerin? Glycerin is a colorless, odorless liquid that is, you can usually find it in plants. It's a derivative of plants, but sometimes it can also be a petroleum-based, not runoff, but there's another word for it, petroleum-based byproduct is the word that I'm looking for. But most of the time, it is a plant-based ingredient. It is a humectant, which means that it has the ability to draw moisture and water to itself. So it's like a sponge. It will draw up water either from your hair, from your skin, or to your hair, or to your skin, or into the atmosphere. A lot of times when people have problems with glycerin, usually the problem that they're having is that glycerin has caused their hair to feel dry, parched, hay-like. And usually that's because people are doing a couple of things wrong when they're using a glycerin. Now, mind you, glycerin is very, very ubiquitous, meaning that it is everywhere. It is a very inexpensive humectant to be able to use, and it's also very effective. So that's when it's like really great when you're able to make a product and get a very effective humectant that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and therefore increase the product cost, to the consumer. And so with glycerin, it's very inexpensive, it's very abundant, and it's very effective. It Glycerin, it's just really good at drawing moisture to either your hair or skin, and it has a really good afterfeel if it is formulated properly. Otherwise, it could be sticky. But generally feeling, it's a very good afterfeel, and that's a big part of product manufacturing. So usually when people feel that they are having dryness when it comes to glycerin, it's usually because, or their curls have gone limp, or their hair has gotten frizzy. It's usually because they're not layering their products correctly, or they're using glycerin in the wrong atmospheres. I'm going to drop a word on you, and it's called dewpoints. Dew point is actually the, what is dew point exactly? Dew point is the measure of moisture in the air. It's not the humidity. Dew points are a component of the measurement of humidity, but generally speaking, dew point is the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, or in moisture in the atmosphere, and then humidity is the amount of moisture saturation. So they're a little different. And so when you are using a product with glycerin in it, or multiple products with glycerin in it, because a lot of us, especially the kinkier, coilier, tighter our hair is, we tend to use a lot of products with glycerin, or a lot of different humectants in them. And the finer your hair is, usually means that you usually tend to use lighter products. And a lot of times your lighter products have more humectants in them than they have emollients or butters or occlusives. So here's the issue with glycerin. When you are doing your hair with a glycerin based product, number one, never use it with heat. So you do not want to use a glycerin based product with a flat iron or a curling iron, because it's going to quickly evaporate your hair, dehydrate your hair of moisture, and cause singeing and burning and damage to your hair. That's number one. Number two, you never want to use a glycerin or multiple glycerin based products in a period or in an atmosphere where dew points are either extremely low or extremely high. You really want to use humectant-rich products in mid-range dew points. So check with the weather service, but I believe it's anywhere between 40 to about 60°F are the safe dew points that you really want to be rocking. High humectant, meaning propylene glycol, sodium lactate, glycerin, any kind of sugar or glucose kind of humectant. Not trying to get too technical, but anything below that 40°F, you're getting into low dew point. That means the air is a lot drier and a lot more parched in itself. So it could potentially cause your hair to, in a sense, dry out and be frizzy. Anything above that 60°F, and it's a range, it's not a hard and fast rule. It is a range. Everybody's atmospheres are different, but anything above that means that there's a lot of moisture in the air, and that glycerin is going to absorb more moisture, and it's going to cause your hair to do the opposite of getting frizzy, but get less defined. Some people would call that frizzy too, but it's a little different. Frizzy generally is dry and kind of brittle, and then you have lesser defined or limp hair on the opposite end of the spectrum. So if you have a favorite product that is full of glycerin or full of humectants, what you want to do is make sure that you recognize what the dew points are. So check with your weather station, and you want to include things like oils, emollients, butters, layer them on your hair, because what they're going to do is prevent evaporation of moisture out of your hair. And they're also, because they have helped, especially if you did your hair while it was moist or wet, those bonds have been rearranged, so it's going to help them to stay where they dried at, where they and in definition. So you'll want to do that. And then if there is a very low dew point, you want to cut down on your humectants and use products that just have less humectants in them. Water-based products with less humectants. You may even just say, hey, I'm going to use my favorite humectant-rich product, but I'll cut out one. Like I'll cut out the leave-in conditioner. I won't use them two together because that's just too many humectants. Maybe too many applications of glycerin at the same time, and it's going to cause my hair to either be frizzy, depending on your atmosphere and dew points, or it's going to cause my hair to be limp and not be able to hold a style because the atmospheric pressure, the dew points, blah, blah, blah. So check how you're using the glycerin. Check how you're layering your products. Try to use a glycerin-based product with an oil-based product as well to kind of seal in that moisture, seal in that those humectant qualities about that product, and then check your dew points. Go to weather.com and check your dew points. And then if you do those simple little things, you'll be sure to have perfect hair days every time you take your hair down. All right? Or every time you not take your hair down. I don't know. I'm always in protective style mode. But every time you style your hair and wear your hair out. All right. So you get the bomb twist outs when you understand dew points, humidity, humectants, and you will realize that it's not just glycerin. It could be a host of other humectants that you're not layering properly with emollients and butters or oils that's causing the problem. So, all right. I think we caught up. All right. I'm actually enjoying this. It's causing me to jog my memory. So please remember to like this video, leave a comment or a question in the comment section, share it with those that you think that it is helpful with, sign up for our newsletter, and follow us on all of our social media. I appreciate you guys and I love you. Mwah. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.